You're just in time to embark on a wondrous trip through the Telvanni Peninsula and see what Necrom has to offer you. Don't let the idea of a city of the dead put you off, and Bittersweet here would love for you to join her. Oh, of course. Yes, Bittersweet here has taken the path between Old Isra and Necrom for more years than I can remember. Nothing stops her from reaching her destination.
Hands off, or I will gut you like the rest. What? Never seen an assassin get put out of work before? You're not one of these third-rate assassins, I can tell. But if you or anyone else puts a hand on me, I'm answering with my axes. I've been cutting down these mercenaries for the better part of the day. I'm guessing my target knows I'm on to her and has started sending them my way. My associate, Harn Orenvi, might know something about it, but I can't bring this heat to him. More like gather information. And if you're offering, I can pay you. Harn usually holds court at the Outlaw's Refuge. He'll be the only one there with bodyguards. Ask him if Rhaenyra Treveri's been through recently. Got it? Fair warning. Harn might ask you for a favor in return for information. I can pay you back, but you don't get paid until I get paid, and I don't get paid until I find Rhaenyra. Make sure you get something good. I'll find you after you're done. And listen, don't mention me to Harn. It probably won't do you any favors.
A word of advice. Han's a busy man. Don't waste his time or he'll take it out of your hide.
Please, Han. They're not just flowers. They're...
Surely a man of your talents can grow more. Now, move. Others wait in need of my counsel. Your face isn't familiar to me, but I'd know that look anywhere. You want something from me. Information, probably. Well, what is it you're looking for? Rhaenyra Treveri. Really? I may know something about her. Perhaps you can enlighten me on why it is you're seeking her. All right, don't get so touchy, Fla. Rhaenyra was through recently. I can tell you what I know, but not without a favor in return. Why don't you deliver these red flowers I just gathered to some dear friends of mine? Sharp as night. I like that lizard, and I hear I'm not the only one. That's useful information, Fla. I'll tell you what you want to know. Rhaenyra was through recently. She sought out Deredrian, a fence who specializes in moving specialty items. She keeps a room in town. I'll mark it on your map. Careful, though. Deredrian and Rhaenyra were old friends. but they fell out some time ago. Asking after one might cause the other to be very sharp with her answers. If you have further business with me, get right to it. If you don't, you're blocking my view. Oh, this. I got too chummy with a certain Argonian associate of mine. All I did was put a hand on his shoulder to get his attention. Apparently, it was the wrong move. He let me know with a nasty swipe of his claws. Can't say I blame him. I've attacked people for far less. I haven't seen this associate of mine for quite some time. Pity. I'd like to thank him properly for what he did. No, just thank him. This scar gives me a subtle air of menace that has done wonders for my business. I don't hold it against him. But the same can't be said for my bodyguards, so I suppose it's for the best that he keeps his distance.
There's no orchard in Necrom.
Hey, told you I'd find you. Raynilla was here, Let's have a look around. Is this Doredrian's place? Seems like a wanted woman, whoever she is. Looks like debt collection notices. Not helpful to us. Blah, rot meth. Makes me wish I was born without nostrils. Can't understand how anyone drinks the stuff. Let me see that letter. So, Raynilla came by, pestering this Doredrian for help. Why? Great. Well, maybe they patched things up and Doredrian went to go help her. Though that doesn't explain why she'd leave behind a note that says exactly where she's gone, especially if she's trying to hide from this reformer that Raynilla mentioned. Maybe My job broker told me to track down Renilla and take back what she stole for an important client. He didn't give other details, and that's usually fine with me. No memory of my past makes no answers an easy pill for me to swallow. I woke up a few years back in the middle of Valenwood with a nasty headache and no memory except my name. But that doesn't have anything to do with the job. Let's get to that campsite. I'll scout ahead and see if we can take Renilla by surprise. Great. If all goes well, then we can both get paid and go our separate ways, I guess. Meet you there. And don't go blundering in without me.
You show the dead more respect than the living. Leave my offerings to me and get your dung-smelling incense out of my face.
This is my great-grandmother's favorite scent. See, I actually pay attention to my ancestors and don't buy whatever is popular.
Hey, Merc. I scouted ahead. That campsite is crawling with the mercenaries that attacked me. Seems like they're searching or waiting for something. But that got me thinking. Why would those mercenaries be after both me and Raynilla? I thought about that on the way over, too. If Raynilla could afford to hire mercenaries, she wouldn't be desperate for Deredrian's help like she was in that note we found, right? Something else is going on here. That campsite is the only lead we have on finding Raynilla. If we can get there, maybe we can find something to keep us on her trail. I'm not used to looking out for others. Can you handle yourself if we run into trouble? This one was dead when we got here, right? Check around. Maybe we'll find some... Wait. Those lanterns. This is Raynilla's signal? I think I've seen it before. Look, someone left a trail. Crouch down and you'll see it. From the tracks, it looks like 2 fleeing, 2 in pursuit. They couldn't have gone too far. Looks like Raynilla and one other got away, got rid of her tail, and managed to hide her prince from here with magic. Well, if Deredrian came here to help Raynilla, it doesn't seem like she did a very good job, and no other sign of Raynilla or the one she was traveling with. What are those notes? What did you find out? Right. She threw in with the Reformer, who told her to prioritize my capture over Raynilla's? What? And he's the one who hired me, without knowing it? This is the last time I ever find work through a job broker. No, but we can piece it together. The fence moving specialty items, the 2 lantern signal, the list of operatives, this person called Dim who the Reformer wants back alive. Raynilla isn't traveling alone with some trinket. She's freeing a slave. I don't want to think about that right now. This can't be all there is. There has to be someone who can give us answers. There was another name I saw, Mevi, in Ald Isra, right? That's not far. If we can find her, maybe she could tell us more. I'll meet you there. I just need a minute. See that? 2 lanterns. That's got to be Mebi.
Sharp as night? By Azura, after all these years, is it really you?
I was afraid you'd say something like that.
I don't know you, and I've never met Sharp. But the way my Raynilla spoke of him, I'd recognize him anywhere. Are you one of her connections? Have you been watching over him all this time? Did he finally remember Raynilla? The Reformer uses experimental magic on his slaves. Raynilla didn't understand the process, and when she excised it from Sharp to free him, it tore something from him. His memories, she thought. Raynilla never forgave herself for what happened. She put herself on assignment. She's freeing another from the Reformer. I haven't heard from her, but that's how these things often go. Forgive me, it's only just occurred to me, but if Sharp has no memories of Raynilla, how did you find me? What? Directrian? No, Raynilla needed her help to find the smugglers' tunnels in Gorn. She'd arranged for a boat to take them to safety. If it's just the two of them in those tunnels, I need to get to her. Please, can you help? You two go on ahead. I need to gather Raynilla's research and prepare to travel light for a while. We always knew this day might come. Thankfully, we always tried to remain ready for just such an occasion. I can spare a moment to tell you what I know, but after, we really should get moving to Gorn. She is my wife. Sharp is the reason we met, actually. She needed forged documents for his new identity. I'd never done anything like that before, but she convinced me. Pity he didn't get to use the forgeries. But some good came of it, at least. It is. She told me he had ambitious ideals that challenged the traditions of House Telvanni. But when she witnessed the cost of those ideals firsthand, she had a change of heart. Breaking ties wasn't enough. She started freeing his slaves. When she lets me. I'm skilled in forgeries and logistics, but I've never done field work, not like her. It's dangerous work and, well, she's always been very protective of me. She has an informal web of operatives across Tamriel focused on freeing slaves. She relies heavily on favors and appealing to people's better nature. It's a struggle, to be sure. I think Raynilla takes on a lot more than she can bear. He's a rich and powerful Telvanni magister who hides behind his moniker and keeps the particulars of his research close to his chest. He practices horrible experiments on his slaves. Somehow, he thinks his work is going to end slavery in Tamriel. Raynilla says he uses some experimental metal to create a sort of link between him and his subjects. I've blocked out most of the details, but I do know that Sharp was the Reformer's favorite. Sharp's resistance always captivated the Reformer. It was as if perfecting that link and conquering Sharp's will was his greatest trial. Precisely. After that happened to Sharp, Raynilla studied the vile process and learned how to safely deattune those freed after him. She'll be thrilled to see him again. I just know it. She might even know how to restore his memories. Raynilla can tell you more when we find her. The way she speaks of him, it's like she's worrying after an old friend. She liked to imagine that he ended up living a peaceful life as a fisherman somewhere. He was feral when she excised him from the Reformer's control. She had no choice but to subdue him. She delivered him to Deredrian at an old safe site in Valenwood. He was supposed to go to Blackmarsh from there, but things didn't go as planned. Deredrian put a hand on Sharp to shake him awake, and he nearly clawed her face off. She said she barely escaped with her life. I can't blame Sharp, and Raynilla felt the same. He must have reacted in fear, that's all. No, Deredrian was furious. Raynilla didn't know such a thing would happen, but that didn't seem to matter to Deredrian. She had complained that Raynilla wasn't paying her enough anyway. I'm just sad it ended this way for her. Sharp, Raynilla would say that you're under no obligation to help, but please.
I'm on my way. Where are the smugglers' tunnels you mentioned?
I think there's a secret entrance in the southwest tunnels. I'll follow shortly. Please, hurry.
You're here after all. I was about to reel in this piece of my past without you. I thought maybe you decided to move on. This is far beyond what I hired you for, isn't it? Maybe you're like me and you never pass up a payday, but I probably wouldn't even have stopped to help someone like me in the first place. Gorn is packed to the brim with mad wizards. Doesn't make it too different from the rest of the peninsula, but I've heard worse things have moved in recently. I guess what I'm saying is I'll watch your back in there so long as you're watching mine.
shadows will consume